Instead of giving you the honest answer, they try to figure out what you want to hear, and then they throw that out there. There's a lot of that goes on, all based on what they think is going to get them elected. Are they just giving you a line so that you'll vote for them? Or are they telling you the truth? Hello, everyone. It is the Audacious Faith Podcast, episode 116. Some of you are going to be mad, some of you are going to be happy, and some will be in between. Let's talk politics. Hey, nothing gets people more upset, more contentious. Nothing brings out more family fights at holiday gatherings than politics these days. Isn't that sad? Incredibly sad. We even had recently where there was speculation that Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes would not sit together in a booth because of a different view when it came to candidates. Although then they were just shown yesterday hugging each other and all of that. So I guess I blew that up. But you know what? What is going on? Such contention, such lack of unity over politics, all right? So I'm going to discuss politics today, and some of you are already saying, nope, separation of church and state. Just calm down, all right? Let's understand for a moment that separation of church and state, when it was instituted into our original documents, there was a reason for that, and that was just so that the government would not be able to establish a certain religion and mandate a certain religion, eliminating the other ones. Now it's been completely reversed around, saying anything that has to do with faith, anything that has to do with religion, just keep your mouth shut when it comes to any view in regards to politics. No wonder our moral compass here in this country is straying further and further away from God. If there's anybody that should be speaking up, it's people of faith who are looking to God's word about what we should be looking at for political leaders. So I'm going to do that today. I'm not going to endorse anybody, so don't get upset about that. But I am going to give you principles. In fact, I'm not even going to name anybody by name. So you can go ahead and just kind of fill it in. It's not going to just be for this election coming up at the time that I'm recording this, but anytime you vote, because these are principles that should be in mind when you're considering who you're going to vote for. So are you ready? Maybe you want to take some notes. I don't know. Totally up to you. Principle number 1, can we please look at policies over personality? Policies over personalities. Too often today, it's just a popularity contest. All right, who do I like? Who do I not like? Let's just smear the other one and smear their character, because if we can get people to dislike them, then they won't vote for them. That's true on either side. I mean, I will tell you, there's right now in the upcoming presidential election, there's certain things about both personalities of both candidates that I'm not always fond of. I will definitely tell you that. Now, I do find one much more obnoxious than the other, and I'll let you guess which one that is. But and everybody's pretty much like that. But personality should not be the whole thing on what we vote for. What are the policies? All right, we want to know. What is it that they stand for? What is it that they say is right and is wrong? What is it that they will try to institute and try to have take effect while they are in office? This is true at the presidential level, the government level, senators, House of Representatives, even city levels, mayors, and different people like that. What are their policies? What are they trying to institute? All right, that should be the main thing, because they can have the greatest personality you just like, but be horrible at what they're doing, and maybe their policies are completely wrong. So let me give you some main policies that you might want to look for in presidential elections, for example. Where do they stand on things like moral issues such as abortion? That's always a big one. All right, where do they stand there? All right, I will tell you that for myself, I believe the Bible says certain things about abortion. All right, there's another episode I did about that. You can find that one in our list. But if a candidate is severely different on that particular issue, they're not going to get my vote. All right? It has nothing to do with who they are. It will have to do with that issue. Okay, where do they stand as far as freedom of religion? Where do they stand on things like gun rights, different things like that? Where do they stand on policies that will have a major effect on the way that people live and the freedoms that they have? Okay, where do they stand on economic issues and what come after that? All right, these are things that we're going to want to look at, and you can tell by track record and everything else. All right, so policies over personality. We have stuff going on right now where both major political campaigns are just trying to frame their candidate's personality a certain way and then paint the other one as totally something else in a different way. Let's look at for what the real truth is here and not just be going on that and having everybody hating each other back and forth. All right, that was number one. Number two, leadership matters. Leadership matters. Has this person shown in the past that they're a strong leader? Has this person had success in other places that they have had to lead? All right, that's something that you're definitely going to want to look at. All right, because however they've done before, more than likely, it's not going to be drastically different now. It's just at a bigger level. Have the things that they have already done prepared them adequately for the job that is ahead. All right, you're going to want to look at that. If they have no track record in that and they've shown maybe even the contrary, you might want to think to yourself, why are they all of a sudden going to change, even if they're saying they're going to change, and be completely different than they've been in the past? How do people respond around them? Are they able to motivate individuals? Are they able to get people to follow them? Are they able to get things done? All right, leadership matters. So think about that very carefully while you are making your decisions at the ballot box. Number three, competency matters. All right. Are they able to do the job? What is their track record leading up to this point? Doesn't matter what they're saying now. Doesn't matter what they're promising. Doesn't matter what they're reading off of prepared scripts. You do realize that, right? Almost every rally or political event that you're going to see, most of that is a prepared script. It's there, okay? So just because a person can read well, just because they can deliver something that a speechwriter told them, doesn't mean anything. Look at the competency. Look at where they've been before. Look at what they've done. Look at whether they're capable or not. All right, this is a big, big issue. If a person is not competent, so let me give you some real-world examples. All right, it's time for you to go home. You go and pick up your kid from school. They're 8 years old. And you say, you know what? I'm tired. Why don't you drive home? All right? They may have the greatest of intention, and they may be completely excited, but they've never driven before, and they can't see over the wheel. There's a problem. Okay? So you have to think to yourself, does competency matter or not? All right? That was a very simplistic example, but there's been a lot of people that have been put into political office that have absolutely no right being there. All right. Number 4, record matters. Record matters. Okay. This kind of goes along with competency and leadership and all of that I've already mentioning. If they have done things a certain way for years and years and years, let's realize that God has now brought them to the point, or whatever it is. Every experience in their life has been a part of shaping who they are right now. Don't think that when a record shows one way of doing things, that all of a sudden they're going to have this epiphany and they're going to reverse and change everything and go a completely different way. What would make you think that? Just because they're saying it. So record. Look at the record. All right, if you are old enough like I am, and you had a record player, I had those 45s, and what was the other ones, 33 and a half or so, whatever it is, I don't know, whatever we had. And those record players, right? And on that record, there were grooves in there. That's where you could tell where the songs was. It's so far back, I can barely remember this, okay? So on a record, if I wanted song number 2 or song number 3, before I would start the record player, I would take a look and I'd try to see where that third groove was, and I would put it on there. And guess what? Every time that I put it there, it played the song that had been recorded there before. Record matters. It's recorded, and it's predictable. it's going to do it again. When we graduated to CDs, if I pushed song number 8, I got the same song every time. All right, the album never changed. It's very rare that anyone changes that much. So record matters. Fifth one, final one that I have, before I just wrap up with a few more comments. Honesty over saying what you want to hear. Now, we've all done this, right? And for example, just the other day, I was asked this question by my wife. This is going to sound bad. Some of you ladies out there are going to be mad when I tell you about this story right now, okay? But she said, hey, do you want to help me clean real quick? Well, I turned to her and I said, do you want an honest answer or the one you want to hear? And of course, that wasn't exactly overly nice, but I was just being honest. If I honestly answered the question, do you want to help me clean real quick? The answer to that would have been, it's really hot. I'm really tired. I've been doing stuff all day, even though I know you have as well. And so if you're asking me, do I want to help clean real quick? The answer is, no, that's probably one of the last things in the world I really want to do right now. But the answer that she needed, the appropriate answer, and the answer she wanted to hear was, sure, let's do it. All right? The problem is many politicians are like that. Instead of giving you the honest answer, they try to figure out what you want to hear, and then they throw that out there. All right? Let's not be fooled by that. There's a lot of that goes on. There's even policy changes, drastic flip-flops, you name it, that are happening, all based on what they think is going to get them elected. So look at what we've already looked at: competencies, leadership, record, all of those type of things. Are they just giving you a line so that you'll vote for them? Or are they telling you the truth? Just like those of you who have gas-powered cars right now, which a lot of you do, the majority of people do. Do you notice that all of a sudden here in California, I will tell you, this is what I noticed. Gas prices were $5, above $5 and all that. Comes election season, the other day I took a look, $3.95. What's with that? I already knew that was going to happen. They'll drop the price. They'll do what they need to do to get the price dropped down towards elections so people aren't quite as mad, so that they'll go ahead and they won't necessarily change their vote because they're aggravated. And then all of a sudden when the election's over, the price will jack right back up. Okay? Don't be fooled so easily by people doing and saying what it is that you want to hear and what it is that you want to see. Take a look at what is true. Take a look at what is reality, and don't believe the press either. All right? Don't believe the press. So, for example, CNN, they have their own version of reality. Fox News, they have their own slant on everything that they're obviously bringing out there as well. Newsmax, you name it. You pick the station, look at where their slant is, and most of the news is going to be provided in that particular lens. Okay? That's just the way that it is. We all tell things in a way that goes with our slant as well. So take a look at what's really happening, what's really being said. And I want to finish with this series of questions. I've brought this up to you before, I think, on another episode. But here are the series of questions that we're going to finish up with that you should be thinking about whenever it comes to politics. When you're looking at a political figure, or just about anything else in life, ask this question first. Is it true? Is it true? Is what you're thinking about this person, your view of this person, your view of their views, your view of what's going to happen, because this is what you've been told and this is what you come to believe. Ask yourself first, is that really the truth? Okay? Question number 2. What if for some reason that's not the truth? That's the second question to ask yourself. What if it's not? Okay. What if I've been wrong? What if people are just saying that, but that's not really how they are? What if I think they're going to do these particular things, but this is not really the way they're going to do it? What if for some reason what I thought was true is not true? Third question. What if the actual truth is something completely different? Completely different. Am I open to the fact that possibly I've been thinking wrong all along? What if the actual truth is completely different from what I thought? And then the fourth question is, if that truth is completely different, am I going to change anything going forward? All right? That definitely applies to all of life, but it definitely applies to politics. Is what you're thinking about the current candidates that you're looking at the truth? What if it's not? What if the truth is actually something different? And if it is, will that change your vote? All things to consider. I'd be very interested in your opinion of this as well. I tried to take a very controversial topic, share my views, and hopefully be beneficial to you without directly endorsing or ticking off anybody, hopefully. I don't know if we accomplished that or not. Let me know, though. Feedback below would be very helpful. And you can also email me or post separately. jgodthiersenior@gmail.com, jgodthiersenior on Facebook or Instagram, or the Audacious Faith Podcast on Instagram as well. We're so grateful always to be interacting with you. We appreciate you all in a tremendous way. Share this episode. Make sure you have also subscribed. We will catch up with you next time on the Audacious Faith Podcast. Be blessed, and we'll see you then.